Hello, Professor Warsi here. Tonight at 8 p.m., you will be taking a lesson in English. Tomorrow at noon, you will be studying English with me. Next week, on Tuesday, you will be flying to Tokyo. Why am I talking about things or actions in the future? You may be wondering. Well, the purpose is that today I'm going to teach you how to use the future progressive tense and understand actions in progress in the future that will be happening. Okay? So let's go over today's goals. We will understand the definition and uses of the future progressive tense. We will also learn how to form sentences in the future progressive tense, identify correct and incorrect usage, and practice through exercises and quizzes. So with no further delay, let's begin. What is the future progressive tense, you ask? The future progressive tense describes actions that will be in progress at a specific point in the future, actions that haven't happened yet, but will be happening at a point in the future. Let's look at a couple of examples. At 8 p.m. tomorrow, I will be studying for my exam. Next week, they will be working on a new project. So how do we structure the future progressive tense in a sentence? Okay, in affirmative sentences, subject comes first, as usual, and then it's followed by the future tense will be. And the verb that follows, the main verb that follows, the helping verb, has an ing ending. Okay? Look at the example. She will be reading at 5 p.m. And it's easy to turn these affirmative sentences into negative sentences. The same structure, the only difference, if you noticed, is the not. She will be reading at 5 p.m. And in the negative, it would be she will not be reading at 5 p.m. He will not be attending the meeting tomorrow. And interrogative sentences using the future progressive tense is will comes first before the subject, followed by the be verb, and a main verb ending with ing. Will you be traveling next week? That's a question. You will be traveling next week. Will you be traveling next week? Okay. So usage 1. The future progressive tense is used when describing an action that will be in progress or continuing at a particular point in the future. So I need you to take a few minutes, go over the examples. I will be studying for my exams at this time tomorrow. Okay? So these are all examples of the future progressive tense. Okay, let's move on. So I have an exercise for you, as I always ask you to do an exercise, because it's important for you to practice what you have just learned. So in the blank spaces, I need you to use the future progressive tense. Use the correct form of the verb in the blanks. So I blank study for my exams at this time tomorrow. How do you write this sentence using the future progressive tense? So pause this video now, complete the exercise. All right, did you complete the exercise? Are you ready for the answers? Here they are. Okay, did you get all of the answers correct? All right, I'm sure you did, since you've been learning with me for a while. Okay, the second usage is a planned or expected action. So when you have a plan to do something in the future, such as we will be meeting with the new clients on Monday morning. Now, it's important for you to notice that there are time expressions Like, when will you be meeting? Monday morning, on Monday morning. Notice the same thing in the second sentence. She will be attending the conference when? Next week. The third example, next month. At the end of the semester, our team will be launching the new product when? This summer. So notice that when we use the future progressive tense, we need a time expression. Okay, let's do another exercise. And I know that this time you will do much better than you did the first time. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the verb. Will be doing, will be writing, will be studying. So in parentheses, you see the verbs meet, attend, move, take, launch. Okay, so fill in the blanks using the correct form of the verb. I'll wait for you to complete the exercise. Then I'll show you the answers. Here are the answers. This one was easy, wasn't it? We will be meeting. Notice they all have the same structure, will be, and a main verb in the progressive tense, attending, moving, taking, launching. The third usage is simultaneous actions, meaning two actions happening at the same time in the future. So we've so far learned that there's only one action, right? I will be studying for my geography exam tonight. You could be more precise at tonight at 9 p.m. But notice in this case, there are two actions that are happening at the same time. I will be cooking dinner while my husband will be setting the table. I have highlighted the two verbs in the future progressive tense. Will be cooking and will be setting. So remember, there are two actions here. The person, I will be cooking dinner, while something else will be happening. What is that? My husband will be setting the table. So there are two examples. Two actions that are happening at the same time. They will be studying while their friends will be watching a movie. Two actions happening. But notice the will be, which means they haven't happened yet. They will happen in the future. Okay? So go over the 3, 4, and 5 and make sure that you understand how the future progressive tense is used. Okay, moving on. Complete this exercise. So there are sentences, there are blank spaces. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the verb in parentheses and use will be and the verb with an ing ending or ing suffix. Will be singing, will be cooking, will be reading a book. So there are 5 sentences for you, and I need you to do this exercise. So I'd like you to pause the video at this point and complete the exercise. After that, I'll show you the answers. Okay? So here are the answers. Notice there are two actions happening at the same time, as we just learned. I will be cooking dinner while my husband will be setting the table. All right? I am sure that you got all of the answers correct, because this is not that hard, right? It's not that hard to learn the future progressive tense. Okay, so what time expressions do we use when we write a sentence in the future progressive tense? So look at the highlighted parts of each sentence. At this time tomorrow, that's a time expression, right? I will be flying to California. At 8 p.m. tonight, we will be having dinner. All day tomorrow, she will be working. So you see there's a time expression there. All day tomorrow, she will be working. Number 4, when you arrive. So that's a time expression, right? When you arrive, let's say tonight at 9 p.m. or tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. When you arrive, they will be watching the game. This time next week, again, you see the time expression, this time, we will be relaxing on the beach. Okay? Very good. Now let's look at 3 types of sentences in the future progressive tense. Affirmative examples. I will be studying. She will be working. They will be traveling. We will be celebrating. He will be watching. So these are all in the future progressive tense, but they're affirmative sentences. Now, as you have done it before, if you have taken my verb tenses lessons in the past, such as the simple present tense and the past present tense, you know that we study 3 types of sentences. So the second type of sentences are negative. I will not be studying for my exam tomorrow evening, right? And all you need to do is add not, the negative word. I will be studying for my exam tomorrow evening. That's an affirmative sentence. And I will not be studying, that's a negative sentence, right? This is easy, correct? Now, just so you know, in speech, when people speak English, they usually contract. So, will not be, all of these, I will not be studying. Know that when people speak, they contract, they say won't. Will not becomes won't. So rather than saying I will not be studying for my exam tomorrow evening, you probably write that way, but when you speak, you say I won't be studying. She won't be working. Won't means will not. Okay? All right, the third type of sentence is interrogative. You see that question mark? Will you be studying for your exam tomorrow evening? It's a question, right? So let's look at the affirmative sentences. You will be studying for your exam tomorrow evening. You can turn that into a question by moving will to the front of the sentence. Will you be studying for your exam tomorrow evening? Will she be working at the library this weekend? Okay? Will they be traveling to Canada next month? And so on and so forth. All right. So here's another exercise for you. Remember, it's important for you to practice what you're learning. So these are all affirmative sentences, and I need you to fill in the blanks with will be plus verb with ing. Okay? Like, I will be cooking tonight for my family. So complete the exercise. They should be rather easy for you. Pause the video now. There are only 5 sentences. I'll wait for you to finish, then I'll show you the answers. Okay, this was easy, wasn't it? I will be studying for my exam tomorrow evening. Okay, now go through the rest of them. They're all in the future progressive tense, and they have the exact same structure. Okay, let's move on. Here's another exercise for you. Now this time, the sentences are in the negative. These are all negative sentences. Will not be. Or when you speak, you can say won't be. Right? I won't be going to my uncle's house tonight. So just remember to use not in each of the sentences. All right? Here are the answers. And I've given you both written form and spoken form. Will not be studying. And in speech, you would say won't be studying. Right? She won't be working at the library this weekend. They won't be traveling to Canada next month. Okay? So, are you following the lesson so far? This one is easy, correct? Okay, now let's do interrogative sentences. So, all of the sentences begin with will. And as you have done that before, use the be verb plus the main verb, ending in ing. For example, will you be driving to California at this time tomorrow? That's a question. So complete the exercise. We have just a couple more minutes left, so thanks for your patience. Complete the exercise and I'll show you the answers. So notice that all of the questions begin with will. Will you be studying? Will she be working? Will they be traveling? Will we be celebrating? Will he be watching? Will he be watching his favorite show at 9 p.m. tonight? So far, so good? Wonderful. Let's do one more exercise before we wrap up today's lesson. Match the sentence to its usage. So you have 5 sentences and you have the usage on the right side, A, B, and C. Okay? So read each sentence and match it with its correct usage. At this time tomorrow, I will be flying to Chicago. When would you say this? Okay, complete the exercise. You may want to pause the video for now and complete the exercise. Okay, here are the answers. At this time tomorrow, I will be flying to Chicago. That's action in progress at a specific future time. At a specific time in the future. She will be attending the meeting next week is a planned action. Planned or expected future action. She will be attending the meeting when? Next week. Okay? So this brings us to the end of the lesson. Let's just very quickly wrap up and go over the key points. The future progressive tense describes actions that will be in progress at a specific time in the future. How do we structure this tense in a sentence? We write the subject first and then follow it with will be. Will makes the sentence in the future, will, plus the verb and ing. Right? I will be reading a novel tonight. So an action that will be in progress in the future. Common usage are action in progress, planned actions, and simultaneous action. And some of the time expressions, I have given you a whole bunch of time expressions to use. At this time tomorrow, next week, tonight, next month, tomorrow morning. These are all time expressions. So thank you for taking this lesson with me. I enjoy working with you. Go back, practice some more. If you missed a few of the questions, you didn't get the answers correct, go back and maybe retake this lesson. In the next lesson, I will be going over the future perfect tense. Okay, until then, work hard and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.